أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم.
I am from Puebla, Mexico, and as you know, in Mexico we are 100 or 99% Christian Catholic people. I come from a very traditional place, which is Puebla in the south of Mexico. So I was basically raised up by my grandpas and my mothers, back and forward, and they made me believe in Christianity since I was a child, and they taught me in school. I mean, it's an atmosphere of Christianity all over around, because it's a shame that there is no other contact of other religions, of other beliefs. As you know, Christianity is like having the authority of the people's heart. Like they believe blindly, not thinking, not rethinking about that if it's true or not. They just believe it. Like I remember myself going to church every Sunday when I was with my parents, with my grandpas. I was with my grandpas. They used to take me to church on Sunday. We'll dress up nicely and go to listen to mass. And then, it was great, the mass. But did we understand something? I remember that when we attended the church, there is this always happening that you listen to the mass, but you never really go to the Bible and check if it's true or not, and your own opinion, what you really think about it. You just take it for known, for that it is true, that whatever you heard is true, and you go on with it the whole weekend after weekend, Sunday after Sunday. Even though I am from the south of Mexico, when I was 10 years old, we moved to the north of Mexico, on the border of United States and Mexico. So later on, when I was 23 years old, then I met my husband. And to my mother, it seemed to be like, he looks like a cute guy, he's nice, and there is no problem with that. So we went on with the marriage. And 3 years later, I got pregnant with my daughter. But at the time that we married, there was a promise of both of us. My promise to him, it was that our children will be Muslim. To me, I thought, he's such a beautiful and nice guy that there is no problem with my future children to become Muslim. He's enchanting. He's so charming. So I had no problem with that. But and my promise to him, it was that don't ever come with a second or third or fourth wife. He said, no, don't worry about that. This is a matter of kind of religion and tradition. And in my family, we don't marry twice or three times or four times. So don't worry about that. I said, well, no problem, so we can marry. When I had my baby in my arms, it was like the biggest gift Allah has given me. At that time I said, I have to raise up this child in my faith, the true faith. What I believe is true faith, because I did not know anything else than Christianity. So at the time that Fatima was growing up, I was teaching her my religion. Of course, it was behind my husband's back, but I had no choice. I like in the morning, at night, when he was at work, I would bring up my Bible. I would just read a passage, regardless whether I understand it or not. I'll bring up my cross, and I said, Fatima, now, in the name of the Father, the Son, the Holy Spirit, and this whole thing. And now we're going to ask him, and we're going to ask him to take care of you, and so on. And so she was believing in it. I made sure that she was being raised as Christian, and I want her. don't let my husband family to know about it. And I remember every night I'll bring my cross, my Bible, and every prayer that I had. Fatima, now kiss the cross, and in the Father, the Son, the Holy Spirit, and ask him whatever you want. Next night we will ask Santa Teresa, Saint Teresa, or any other saint, Saint Anthony, and whatever cross in your mind. The next night we'll ask the angels. Next night the Virgin Mary, and so on. But one night we had no one else to ask. I ran out of saints, so I said, Fatima, now we're going to ask God. And she said, okay, now who is God? Who is God? I said, is the one who created you, who created me, and He is forever and ever. So she was pondering. She was thinking about those words. And to my explanation, then I brought my cross again. I said, now, thank God. I was bringing the cross. And she looked at the cross. And she said, Mama, who is this? I said, this is God. He's the Son of God. Astaghfirullah. Then she told me, but you just told me a minute ago that God is forever. How come this one is dead? And I never in my whole life realized that fact. She asked me, where does this God come from? I said, well, it comes from the womb of Mary, of the Virgin Mary. She said, oh, so He was born sometime before. I said, well, yes, but then she said, you told me that He's forever, and he never died, and He's never born. It was contradictory. She started to tear apart my Christianity, and I saw her and said, how can I make her believe in this? At that time, when Fatima started me to ask me many questions about the Virgin Mary, how come you told me that God is alone, has the power alone, and you ask the Virgin Mary, and you ask the angels, do they have power? I said, well, let me think about it. It's something that you were raised on in this belief. And in Mexico we are like all Catholic. Most of the people is Catholic. You never really think of the power of the submission, total submission only to Allah. You never think of that. So at that time I said, I need help. Someone help me. I'm drowning. My Christianity is tearing in pieces. So I went to church, to this Christian Catholic church in